Have you ever looked back on a decision and thought, if only I had known this earlier? Not the kind of regret born from impulse or laziness, but a deep gnawing realization that a different path, a wiser choice could have saved you years of pain. A woman you loved, a friend you trusted, a dream you chased that ended in silence. Now imagine if Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, stood beside you during your worst moment. What would he whisper? What would he warn you about? This video isn't about abstract Stoic theories. It's about the painful truths that men, especially modern men, only understand when it's too late. And if you stay with me till the end, you might just discover a perspective that not only changes your love life, but rewrites how you live as a man. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Control is an illusion until it's gone. When Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius was just a boy, he was handed a sword not to fight with, but to carry the weight of an empire. Imagine being 16 and knowing that one mistake could bring ruin to a civilization. But Marcus learned a crucial truth that modern men often miss. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The illusion that we control everything, our careers, our relationships, our futures, makes us arrogant in our youth. We chase women, status, validation. We make plans and believe the world owes us certainty. But then she leaves, the job disappears, your health declines. That's when reality shatters the illusion. The Stoic man understands this early. Control lies not in changing the wind, but in adjusting the sails. The earlier you internalize this, the less you'll suffer when the storms hit. Lesson 2. Most people don't think, they react. Jason was 27 when his girlfriend cheated. He spiraled, drinking, punching walls, blocking her, unblocking her, sending rage texts at 2 a.m. He told himself he was feeling deeply, but really he was reacting like an untrained dog barking at thunder. Marcus would have said, if someone does wrong, it is because they do not know what is right. Educate them or walk away. We waste years being pulled by the strings of our emotions, acting out like puppets. Real power comes not from domination, but from mastering your own reactions. The Stoic man doesn't just feel, he observes, understands, and chooses his next move with clarity. The man who learns this in his 20s becomes a king by 30. The man who learns it in his 50s looks back at a battlefield full of his own wreckage. Lesson 3. Love is not ownership. You don't own her. That sentence alone could save most men years of heartache. But it's a lesson learned too late, usually after jealousy. Obsession and desperation turned love into chains. When Marcus Aurelius lost his wife Faustina, he didn't write about sorrow or vengeance. He wrote, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. But do so with all your heart. To love her is to accept she may leave, to want her happiness more than your control. Stoicism doesn't reject love, it purifies it. It strips away possession and reveals something divine. When you try to trap love, it flees. When you let it breathe, it might just stay. Lesson 4. Discipline will free you from regret. At 22, Marcus Aurelius woke up before dawn each day, not because he had a trainer, a to-do list, or an alarm clock, but because he knew discipline today prevents suffering tomorrow. Modern men say, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow is a liar. We binge on comfort now and pay for it in regret later. We chase women without preparing to be good men. We spend money we don't have. We delay the hard talk. We skip the gym. We don't call our father. Then one day we're 45, staring at a mirror and realize the only prison is the one we built ourselves. Marcus reminds us, just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. Discipline isn't punishment. It's insurance against regret. And the sooner you build it, the less you'll beg life to rewind. Lesson 5. Silence screams louder than noise. There was a soldier under Marcus's command who wronged him. Everyone expected fury, public rebuke, harsh punishment. Marcus said nothing. He simply demoted him, quietly, without a word. People were stunned. But the message was louder than any shout. You disappointed me, and I will not waste words where action is enough. In a world where men argue in comment sections and spill their emotions to people who don't deserve them, silence is a power most learn too late. You don't have to win every argument. You don't have to prove your worth to her after she left. You don't need to explain your value to people who can't see it. Sometimes the most stoic, most powerful move is to walk away in silence. Lesson 6. You are not your thoughts. One of the cruelest prisons a man can live in is his own mind. We believe the voice in our head is us, that the anger, fear, doubt, desire, it defines us. But Marcus Aurelius, who ruled Rome while battling depression, knew otherwise. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are the gatekeeper of them. Imagine being able to observe a jealous thought and letting it pass without chasing it. Imagine wanting revenge but choosing restraint. Imagine desiring her but knowing when to say she's not good for me. This is not repression. This is mastery. And the man who learns this early becomes dangerous in the best possible way. Lesson 7. Your time is not infinite, but your potential is. When Marcus wrote his meditations, he knew he was dying. The plague was sweeping Rome. His health was fading. But instead of fear, he wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Men waste decades thinking life begins when they get the girl, the car, the validation. But life doesn't begin later. It begins now. What would you do if you knew you had only 5 years left? Who would you forgive? What would you stop tolerating? The man who learns this early becomes urgent, intentional, focused. The man who learns it too late begins to mourn a life unlived. Lesson 8. Weak men break others, strong men build themselves. At the height of his reign, Marcus had every reason to punish, humiliate, or destroy his enemies, but he didn't. Because he understood something lost in modern masculinity. Power without virtue is just violence. When you're weak, you look to control others. When you're strong, you control yourself. Men who don't learn this confuse arrogance for masculinity. They bully, belittle, seduce, then discard. But Marcus taught, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. If she cheats, grow stronger. If he betrays, stand taller. If life tests you, respond, don't react. Build yourself until no insult can crack your peace. That's Stoic masculinity. Not loud, but indestructible. Lesson 9. Everything you love will fade, but that's why it matters. Marcus watched his friends die, his children, his wife. He buried more people than most of us will ever love, and yet he wrote not with despair but with presence. Soon you will have forgotten all things. Soon all things will have forgotten you. Most men learn this truth too late. Everything is temporary. The woman beside you, the strength in your legs, the laughter with friends, even the anger that consumes you, it too will pass. This is not a call to despair. It's a call to cherish, to live fully, to feel deeply, to love bravely, and to release when the time comes, because knowing that it ends is what makes it beautiful.